All right, Alton Hoops Nation. I'm Aaron Wimstead. I'm here with Sonny and Graves. It's the good, the bad, the ugly. Final Four tonight. Two good games. Let's just get right into it. First game, Free Ballers and Avengers. The Avengers come out, and I think they're up 17-4. Chris Maher, I think he hit 3 threes, and Andre Perry was eating them up inside. Then the game kind of shifted. Talk about what do you think shifted for the Free Ballers?
Well, Avengers stopped going inside. Andre scored the first 6, I believe, and then Noe came, hit a 3, and then Chris hit 2 back-to-back. So then they started flowing outside, and Free Ballers can get anything to go early, and they made a sub and brought in Nick, and he came in, hit his first 3 off the catch, spaced the floor out because they were hounding Jake the whole game. He spaced the floor out, took their big man out of the lane that allowed Andre Gray to attack the basket and Billy to also spread the floor. And you got to account for Dre and Rue's hustle on defense and rebounds made the difference.
Yeah, Nick was the difference for him in the first half. I think he went 3 for 4, 3 for 5 from 3-point range. I don't think the Avengers, they played him in Fridley, I believe, but I don't think they expected him to shoot that well. But he shot well, and he was the difference for him in the first half. Like you said, he spread the floor, and Rue was getting layups, and Andre Gray was getting some space to get shots off. Second half, the Free Ballers pretty much dominated for the most part of the second half. I think they were up by 7, maybe. They got up by 7 or 8. And then Avengers, as you expected, came back. I think they tied the game up with Trey Sales 3, right?
Yeah, Trey hit a 3. They were trying to sag off of him. And they put Jake there, but Jake wasn't helping, so the Avengers pounded it down low to Andre. He made a couple nice post moves, back-to-back, I believe. But the Free Ballers kept letting them in. I think the team as a whole shot just under 50% for free throws, and they took maybe 12 or 14. Everybody that went to the line went 1 for 2, except for Billy made his both. But Avengers stayed in the game. It was close. Free Ballers went up for slightly, but Avengers stayed in until the end. Free Ballers made that run, went up with about 3 minutes left. And then my thing is, when you're up with 2 minutes, you still have to play aggressive. And they tried to stall, which allowed the Avengers to force turnovers and get shots. And they came back, tied it up, sent it to overtime.
Yeah, the Free Ballers, they held for the last shot. I can't remember off the top of my head who took it, but they didn't go in. Overtime was pretty much the same as, the second half. I think the Free Ballers, they got fouled 1-1.
1 for 2.
They only went 1 for 2. Anyways.
Got fouled. And then Dre went 1 for 2. And it was basically those 2 free throws, and then Andre Gray with the saving tip at the end at the buzzer wins the game.
Yeah, and what the possession?
It was only 2 possessions in overtime. I think each team got a 3. Each team got a shot. Then both teams got free throws, and then the last possession, Free Ballers held it for 30 seconds. Rue attacked. Yep. Rue attacked, kicked it to Xavier. Xavier drove down the lane, put a layup up, just fell off the rim. Dre comes up, cleans up, tip in, buzzer beater.
Andre Gray pulled the Marshawn Lynch and said he doesn't do interviews. But here's an interview with Xavier Hussein. Here with Xavier Hussein of the Free Ballers. You're going on the championship. How does it feel?
It feels great. First time. I've been in this league for about 6-7 seasons now. It's my first time stepping on a championship floor. We're looking forward to it.
Andre Gray, who had the game-winning tip, said he doesn't do interviews. But talk about that last sequence. Real interesting.
Put it to you short, he bailed me out. Set a screen for Billy, rolled off it, hit me up with the perfect pass. I couldn't finish the layup. Thank God he came through to clean it up. His head's always up on boards. He's always looking to go to the basket and clean up what we miss.
Early on, you guys were down, I think, 17 to 4. You guys got down really early. Chris Maher was on fire. And instead of going, Andre Perry or Barry was eating you up inside too. Yeah. Instead of going zone like some other teams would, you guys stuck with your man, and it didn't work. Talk about what changes you made.
Well, I mean, we kind of pride ourselves on our defense. It's kind of been noted throughout the season. We play a very physical game. Going into a zone, we just don't feel like we'll be able to rebound the same way we would be able to in a man. And you notice we were kind of getting out-rebounded early on to begin with anyway, which is a lot of those shots that they had. But we pride ourselves on our man-to-man play and being able to guard in our rotation and our communication. So very few times throughout the season will you probably ever see us go zone.
Muskies or Blue Chips? Who's your pick?
Ooh, it's going to be a good game. I'm going to go Blue Chips simply because they beat me on the Gorillas 2 games in a row this season already.
All right, man. We'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, on to a second game. Blue Chips, who are shorthanded. Adam Wenzel out with a knee injury. They played the Muskies, who looked really good last week. Close game until probably like the last 6-7 minutes, and the Muskies pulled away. The Blue Chips held tough pretty much the whole game.
Yeah, it was a game of hustle and basically knocking down open shots for the Blue Chips. Jamichael Ali carried them, I mean, as much as he could with I think about 3 or 4 turnaround fadeaways in the paint, clutch kickouts for the 3. Arsenio was attacking the basket, making floaters. They couldn't really get Tony DeBoer going. I think he hit 1 3, but the Muskies didn't leave him all game. And then the difference, I would say, is when you got Arsenio bringing the ball up, and the Muskies made the switch, putting, I believe it's Adam Beavis, on Arsenio, and that made it tough on him all game because he can go catch everything at the glass. So it's tough to get that floater off when you know you got a shot blocker on you. And Bennett played tough. He blocked. I think he blocked Briggs. He blocked Ant, and he had a clutch block on Bond in the 3 in the corner to cut it to 6, I believe. So I mean, it was clutch defense by the Muskies and clutch shot making by Casey. I think he had 4 threes on kickouts just from getting lost in the offense.
Speaking about Casey, I got a chance to catch up with him after their win. Here's his interview. I'm here with Casey Schannauer, the Muskies, on to the championship. How's it feel?
Feels really good. I don't know, it feels kind of surreal for a second after being in the league for about 4 years now. The Muskies kind of started from scratch the same time as the Broncos, and at first we were pretty bad, finishing sub 500, and it feels good to come out here and actually win a game that matters. So.
You played the Blue Chips. Blue Chips were without Adam Wetzel. It's reportedly an ACL, so we wish him the best. They kept it close throughout the game. What was your strategy going into the game, and what made you the win?
Yeah, these guys are blue chip workers. You got Briggs, Mayer, Ant, Tony. These guys all fly around. Arsenio was a big offensive threat, but we knew that we were probably more conditioned than them. Not me, myself, but everybody else. And getting after them, making sure that we had the right people on the right guys. We had Adam and Bennett basically smothering Arsenio. And then John took out Tony, and Tony might have hit a shot or two, but we knew if we took those, Arsenio and Tony out of the game, it was going to be probably in the books for us. So,
I think you guys were only up by 2. The Blue Chips was kind of back and forth. You hit a big 3 there in the corner. What was going through your mind when you took that shot?
Well, we had him on a switch, so Jamichael was down there, who's probably about 7, 5'8", and I was just going to keep tossing it back down there until they doubled too hard. And I was pretty nervous about it coming off because I've been shooting like crap tonight, but it just went right in, so it felt great.
So we'll have a new champion. Free Ballers Fridley and Muskies in Bloomington South, so it's cool setup. What are your thoughts going into the game against the Free Ballers?
Those guys are competitors. They're in shape. They play good team ball, and they're all very good scorers. So we're going to have to bring our A game tomorrow. I don't have the formula, but I do know that we have to come out here and bust their butt and, hope for the best.
Awesome. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right, so we're going to have a new champion. We got the Muskies and the Free Ballers tomorrow here at 7.
Never been in the finals. Neither one, right? No. Neither team in the finals. It's a new experience for everybody. Well, I guess how the Final Four would have been new or Avengers been there. So that was the only team that would have been a repeat. So.
Both of them kind of had a few roster changes. The Free Ballers, Anthony Parker,
Anthony Parker.
Tony Parker. They lose Tony Parker. You think they probably won't be as good, and to me, they actually seem better. Probably because they're not so focused around getting him the ball.
Yeah, they changed the lineup on, added Rue as a guard, spaced the floor with the shooting, and they just hustle. That's I believe. I don't think Andre Gray played with him, did he? Yeah. But it's just more core. They have chemistry. They play together. They get frustrated at times with each other, but they stick it out.
And then the Muskies, they had Zach McCray and Bennett Lang, who are two probably top 10, top 15 guards in the league. And they've made a difference.
Yeah, they play hard on D. Bennett definitely plays hard on D, and he's looking a willing passer. And that's what you need in the Muskies offense. They're just share the ball. Whoever's open, doesn't matter. If somebody's going to step up. Somebody steps up. It's going to be a different man every night. It's Christensen most nights, Rablin most nights. Then you get McCray last week hits the buzzer beater, and then today you got Bennett and Beavis playing the hardcore defense, keeping them in the game.
All right, so let's break down the game. Both teams are kind of hustle defense. They both have Junius Ho versus Xavier, or who's going to get into your head.
Yeah.
It should be interesting. Who do you think has the advantage with the guards?
Guard advantage. You got Rue and Jake versus Bennett, Christensen, Zach. That's tough. I would say for shooting purposes, the Muskies have that advantage. Given Jake can get hot at any moment, but he's not going to create his own shot. But defensively, the Free Ballers play a lot more team hustle defense. But it's tough with Junius on them all game, yelling. It's basically who gets in whose head and who misses those open shots in that game.
So the bigs to me is they're pretty even. I know that Rablin's probably the tallest guy. Whitrock's up there, but kind of as you saw today, he's kind of more of an outside player. Chad Wessels and John Price arguing. But then you got Andre Gray, who's not biggest height-wise, but he plays big. He's got the vertical. He plays good defense. Your thoughts about the bigs?
It's going to be tough. Andre Gray or Andre Perry down a little bit with those hustle plays. Perry still made tough buckets. So it'll be tough. Rablin's going to have to hustle. Otherwise, Dre's going to get a lot of offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds in the middle. But the thing is, Muskies play together and crash. So do the Free Ballers. Whoever wins the rebounds wins the game, I would say.
So what does the game look like to you? Obviously, both teams can go inside. They can go outside. I would say to me, the Free Ballers have more of a inside-outside game because you can stretch the floor with Xavier Hussein, Nick Whitrock, Andre Gray. If he gets hot, we'll take the shots. and they were leaving him open today, and he missed a few, and then he was hitting them. What do you see the game looking like?
Very scrappy. A lot of turnovers, a lot of steals. Probably about 5 blocks apiece on each side. It's tough because if both of them come to play defense, it could be a real low-scoring game. If they both come like, all right, we need to score, be a real high-scoring game. It's a tough game to call. With it being here in Bloomington, and free ball, to me, I don't think the free ballers really shot well outside of Nick coming in making those couple shots. I would have to stick with the free ballers. I'll go free ballers by 5, and that's only with the bonus fouls at the end.
That's who I'm gonna take too. I think they're the more gritty team, kind of just throughout. And I think like you said with the physical, lots of steals, lots of turnovers. I think that's going to be the difference in this game. I think I think we'll see. You kind of didn't see it from the Muskies, but with the Blazers and with the free ballers, you saw Cody Hoffman, kind of that fourth guy as you talked about, having a big game. And then tonight, Nick Whitrock came, and he didn't have as outstanding of a second half as he did a first, but he was the difference in the first half for him. I think somebody is going to have to step up for both teams, and I think we'll see. I think the free ballers are the more gritty team.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to make sure Jake doesn't get his shots. I say Dre has a big game inside. Zip didn't have that good of a game today. I say he makes it up tomorrow. For the Muskies, I say Bennett's probably going to be the hot guy tomorrow. Zach will make his open shots. Casey carrying it back-to-back games. I mean, it's going to be tough. Him and Xavier battling. It'll be tough. Who's going to get in whose head, Junius or X?
I was just about to ask you that. Tonight, you saw the blue chips. Probably Briggs told his team, just ignore them. They're kind of ignoring them the whole game. They didn't get a reaction. The Muskies didn't get a reaction from the blue chips the whole game, which I thought was smart. Will we see the free ballers, or will we see Junius get into the free ballers' head, or will the free ballers just keep even keel the whole game?
But I mean, Junior still got in the blue chips' head. Like they didn't react to him, but they were frustrated with the refs, which makes it tough because they're frustrated with the refs because there's no fouls, but they got more of the fouls. They had 5 fouls to give when they were trying to foul and getting the bonus, when the Muskies were 1 foul away from the bonus. It's just Junius keeps it going, whether you draw his attention to him or you makes you focus on the refs or however it goes. That's where it's going to go. And with Casey and Xavier, both kind of sneaky rebounders, setting screens, they give you a little nudge and extra bumps. It's going to be tough. I would say Junius probably still may win that mind game with getting in Billy's head. I would say. I think Billy's the one that will crack. Everyone else has seen Junius long enough on that team to where they know, but Billy might be the one that he may not lash at Junius, but he'll get frustrated with somebody on his team.
All right, so again, the Rec Championship tomorrow here in Bloomington South at 7 o'clock. The open game to follow. So the open game should be a good one. We have the city team, who I think they had 2 seasons off, 3 seasons off. It's been a while, but yeah, they're loaded throughout. Anthony Tucker's probably their best player. He's had just a ridiculous season. They have PJ Hill, they have Seth Yonker, they have Cameron Rundles. You name it, they're stacked. They'll be going up against the Bulls, who should have Paris Kyles, who where is he, in Mexico, playing 3-on-3 FIBA. I think his team won too, didn't they?
Yeah.
So we'll have the Bulls in the city team. It should be, awesome. Everybody should stay after the rec game to watch that. Should be good basketball. What are your thoughts going into the game, and how do you see these two teams matching up?
First, I want to clear up the fact that the Wolves lost by, I think, 19 last night. That score is not the truth of how that game was. That happened in the last 3 minutes, and it was just an explosion. But for this game, it's literally the Bulls rely heavy on pairs, and they run screen and roll. I don't know if maybe it changes with Rip City, but he's very ball dominant for that. And then with the City squad, same with Anthony Tucker. Although they do have PJ who can take it at times, but Tuck is their scorer. So it'll be interesting to see. I know Tuck will probably outscore Paris, but it'll be, can you get him to give the ball up?
It should be interesting. I know, City squad, if I were to list my X factor for the Bulls, it'd be Luke Settergren, who, if he's on, he can shoot lights out and he can carry a team. And for City squad, it's kind of who shows up. But they have Bronson Byrne, who I think is 6'10", 6'11", and he's a good player. I think he'll be the X factor for City team, in my opinion, just because of his height and his size. What are your thoughts?
It's going to be a tough night for Antoine Lynch. Twan is a big for rec. He's 6'3", maybe 6'4", and then you're going to have 6'10", and then his backup is Seth, who's 6'5" and big. So there's no break for him. And then, but the backup that he does have is I believe it's Ian. And he's got vertical. Him and Ra can come in and get any loose boards. Roderick Powell. Hey, he's there. He played last night. But so I would say the Bulls have the advantage in the role player category because they have people that fill in those open gaps where City squad now with, I believe Cam has already left to go overseas. I'm not sure who else they had on their roster, but I know Tuck and PJ are the only two professional players left. So we'll see how that goes for them.
Your prediction?
It's tough. If Tuck comes out playing serious, because last night he didn't take Neil serious, and Neil came out and hit 9 straight. If he comes out and plays serious, I say City squad can hold on. It'll still be a close game by 4. If he takes the Bulls lightly at all, the Bulls take off and run them and win by 10.
Has City squad hasn't won, have they?
I don't think they have. Their team always leaves before the championship. So, same story here. You got 2 people left, but they have the mismatch with the bigs. But Seth's a good player. And Seth at the 4 would be great. But the problem is the Bulls have the more athletic 3, 2, 3, 4 compared to the City squad.
Well, it should be interesting. We could have 2 new champions tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow again. Rec game at 7, the open game to follow at 8. We'll see you guys tomorrow here in Bloomington South.